I want to talk about what happens on the other side of women actively looking for a man during college, about women actively chasing this idea of marriage and a fairy tale. This woman left a comment when we were having the discussion about Ebony K. Williams and getting your Mrs. degree. And this is important because there are women who did precisely what Ebony K. Williams did or said that we should do. And this is what could happen. This could happen especially if you have parents that have sheltered you, prevented you from dating, and didn't give you any kind of game. Because men on the flip side have game. They have their cousins, uncles, daddies that are giving them game on how to get what they want, and women are being told to be marriage minded when young men are not being told the exact same thing. So we have two very different paths. We got women that are aiming for a lifetime, and we got young men that are looking to, play the field, play games, and get the sex, and that is it. You can't have women chasing MRS and men chasing sex. It just will not work out in our benefit. So we have to be real with things. So this woman says, after a sheltered upbringing, I went into college as innocent as they come. I fell in love with a guy in college in my sophomore year. He was basically my first everything. I was young, fertile, and beautiful. Knew I wanted a family and very, very green. He left me for a preference. It broke me. I was ill equipped to deal with such a devastating heartbreak. I spiraled into a deep depression, had to leave school, and it derailed my path. I eventually went back and finished, but that experience changed the whole trajectory of my education. But it forced me to decenter men. It gave me the tools I needed to be able to walk away from any man who didn't value me. It pushed me to really grow and walk into my real womanhood. It put me in a path to really finding my voice and value. The woman that you become is very different from the girls who marry their college sweetheart. Neither is right or wrong, but different. She continues with, for me specifically, I could not have imagined who I would have been if I ended up marrying that guy I wanted to in college. I am so proud of the woman I've become. Your prefrontal cortex isn't even fully formed until you're 25. I didn't even really feel like a woman until then. I was not ready in college, and he was trash. All of this to say, everyone has a different path, and it's sad that everyone has blanket advice for Black women. Keep your goals in your mind and don't subscribe to a monolithic view of how things are supposed to go. Live life. Why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this because many of us, especially if you grew up in the church and you grew up with parents that pushed you in education, they might not have giving you the tools that you needed to prepare you for dealing with men and dating. I know personally I wasn't allowed to date. So when you put a person that is naive out into the real world, that is what men want. When they keep talking about wanting a young woman, wanting a woman in their early 20s, that is because those women don't have the life experiences to be able to navigate the gameplay, the manipulation, the tactics that they have. And so it sets us up for failure. And that is one of the reasons why I am very, I'm a very boisterous. I'm very vociferous in speaking to women and girls because I want all of us to have the tools that some of us didn't have. Many of us had to get to this point by trial and error. We had to stumble. Many of us had obstacles, but if we give women and girls the game plan now and help them avoid some of those obstacles, it could set us up to not have the stress, the physical ailments that come along with these bad breakups. You know what? This would be the perfect opportunity to speak about my book, Ashy Men Will Make You Fat, a petty self-help guide. We talk about this type of thing. We talk about what could happen if you choose the wrong man. We need to have these conversations consistently because choosing the wrong person could have mental, physical, emotional impacts on your life, on your body, on your mind, all of that. So it all ties in together. And if we are not giving our daughters proper game to navigate these waters, we are setting them up for failure. So please go ahead, check out my book at bourbonbougieshop.com. Let's continue to have these conversations. Let's continue to highlight the red flags that might come along with things. That way, girls and women can go into school and we can focus on being the best version of ourselves as we find ourselves and find the value system that we want to live by. That way, we can have the life that we truly want to live and not something that we are just pushed into because of societal pressures. Y'all go ahead, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, share.